Welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Wednesday, October 14th. And October's like almost halfway over. These months be flying by. We here, a little tired, a little sore. He's here.
What up,
Todd's
man?
here. And we got a lot going on in the world of sports. NBA season's finally over, the longest season ever. There's some stuff happening in the NFL. And there's baseball playoffs happening. For those that care to put a... First we gonna get right into it. The Lakers are the champs. The Lakers are the NBA champ. First time in 10 years that they got it. 17th banner. The Heat just ran out of gas. They just ran out of fumes.
Yeah, they did, man. And it's they were running through almost everybody in the playoffs till they got to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And then the finals. Like I said, they ran out of gas. They were playing longer series than LA. LA probably had the shortest series out of everyone throughout the whole playoffs because they were giving everybody a game. Legit were giving everybody a game. So
yeah,
and then
nothing but
just a better
5
team.
games.
Yeah,
5 games each series.
Yeah,
they were the better team. But the Heat gonna look. Yeah, it was. They were just a better team, pretty much. There's literally nothing about this game I can say because it was close for a little while. Then they broke it open in the second quarter. And then it was, once they got up 30, I was like, yeah. But actually, once they got up like 25, I was like, yeah, that's all she wrote. Them dudes are gassed.
Man, just that whole game just looked like they were spent. Tyler Hero, great season. Great ball performance. He hit the rookie wall his last game of the season.
Yeah.
He was looking bad out there, but for him to play that well in the bubble, granted, circumstances are totally different than most rookies have to deal with. But and then none started balling. I feel like if they would have had none throughout the whole series, it might have been a little more competitive, but it would have been the same.
None has had a weird postseason because he had the COVID, so he was out for some games, and then they put Dragic in for him, and then Dragic just started. So it was like, I don't know, they just couldn't figure out his role in any of the matchups, and he needed to learn how to go right too. The Lakers were playing they were pretty much just planted on that left hand, and he really couldn't do much. And the Lakers defense really put the clamps on them because we just saw they had too many possessions where they just too many overpassing, late in the shot clock, forcing up shots, and then the Lakers come on the other end. It's LeBron driving to the basket, kicks it, or he's getting and one to the and going to the free throw line.
And like I said, you have 2 Hall of Fame caliber players, LeBron and Rondo, on your team. Both champions, so they know how to win, especially at the small forward position and the point guard position.
Yeah.
For your 2 winners to be at those positions, it's kind of hard to beat them.
Yeah, yeah. And Rondo, he came up big in that game, that closing game. He was just getting to the paint anytime he wanted, and literally there was nothing that he could do because they just had Rondo had it going, LeBron had it going, and AD had it going. Usually, AD and LeBron have it going, you may have a chance. But then when they get that third option, that third guy, and then you got KCP still knocking down wide open. So they got 4 guys that got it going. And it was just like, yeah.
And credit to KCP because that last game, or I want to say closeout game, he was playing hard.
Yeah, he was.
From jump, he was bent over, huffing and puffing. He was playing harder than anybody out there. I just hope that some pros see what he was doing out there and put forth that same effort.
Yeah. We didn't get to Game 6 because Game 5 happened when we was out. The internet went crazy because LeBron passed it to a wide open Danny Green. But when I watched that play, even if he wanted to force a shot, he couldn't because he didn't have the proper angle. If he forced a shot, that thing would have hit the backboard.
Yeah, a lot of people, analysts, fans, they just want to see that Jordan Kobe moment. And I get it. He could have put something up, but in our reality, it's all about making the best basketball play. And everybody compares LeBron more to Magic than anybody else. And he made the best play possible. Danny Green gets paid to knock down 3-point shots. You're at the top of the key, and you're flat.
Help your teammate out. You got to hit those wide open shots. At
least, yeah, he fronted. It was short too. So it just seemed like I seen on a couple memes and the dude on Instagram saying you were scared before you caught the ball. Granted, I thought he was scared. He just wasn't ready.
Yeah, I thought he should have been ready. But yeah, that was probably the funniest thing when people just trying to clamor. But if we look at it again, did Kobe ever have a finals moment where he made a last second shot like that? I can't think of one.
I mean,
the only one I remember is
the alley-oop to...
No. The I think it was Game 3 against Indiana, their first run, when Shaq fouled out and then Kobe just went crazy. That was it. But as far as like hitting like clutch shots in the finals, I don't think Kobe has ever had.
For one, the last couple finals he played in, I couldn't even observe what he was doing because I'm a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
So so I couldn't even.
Don't worry. The last one he wasn't good, but he made enough plays. But yeah, it was crazy for the people that was just clamoring on LeBron for passing it to a wide open guy. He was wide open. It was
granted
wide
though.
open.
Danny Green's wife shouldn't be getting death threats.
Yeah.
All she does is have babies and watch the game. Like she has nothing to do with the NBA. And granted, some of these people need to. Once again, I feel like I love the world we live in. Everybody has a voice because so many people were shut out in the past years. But some of y'all need to know when to shut up though. Yeah. Like, come on, like don't be threatening people's wives and stuff. Like, come on, man. It's not that serious.
It's really not that serious. I'm not. They probably threatened his wife because they probably gambled on the game. And if you're gambling and losing money, then you shouldn't be gambling on the game because that person's wife has nothing to do with your gambling.
Or just address that message to Danny Green.
Or just enjoy the game for what it is and don't take it too seriously. Like,
and like I didn't know like you be sending death threats. Like nothing happens after that.
Like usually the police get involved. I mean I know you send a death threat to a politician or anybody, you got the FBI at your door the next day. So I don't know, but this is also interesting. So LeBron, Danny Green, I think they're the first teammates that have won 3 rings with 3 different teams. I'm not sure, but
that's cool.
On the top of my head, I can't.
3 different teams. Oh yeah, because the Raptors. It might have been, but you know the coolest guy on that team is Rondo right now.
Oh yeah, I asked if he was the first player to win one with the Celtics and the Lakers, but apparently not. There was another guy who was, I forget his name, but he was Minneapolis Lakers. And
that doesn't count.
Yeah,
that doesn't count. They were baby blue. They weren't even green. It doesn't even count.
But yeah, Rondo, he's got it good. But LeBron too. Now he's been, after this, the craziness that happens after LeBron championship is where is he in NBA history? The GOAT talks. Is he the greatest? And I try not to get involved in these conversations, but somebody said it best. LeBron is the greatest to the kids that are in college now and in high school. Like, if you were born 2000 and up, LeBron's the greatest player to you. So that's basically it. It's a hard argument, but he's second. He's either 1 or 2. There's no debate about that. When you look back in basketball history, some people gonna say LeBron, some people gonna say Jordan. It's those 2. Like, it's not even close.
And let me correct myself. Minneapolis Lakers were baby blue. I said green. I meant purple and gold after that. But yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with people being great in each era, each decade. Because every 10 years you have a new player that's at the top of the mountain, or every 10 to 15 years. So it's like
the great thing with LeBron is his run's been it's been like he's had the longevity of his runs. It's just been crazy, and to do it this year too, it's probably the most mentally draining NBA season for these guys because they had to be in one place for 3 months. They can't go to their families after the game, so like that part, just being in one place, it's good for them to play, but the mental part of that is
being away from your family. Like it's tough in general because that's really all you have. So like you after them games, them interviews, commercials, you look forward to spending time with your kids. Yeah. And if you can't do that, that's just stressful naturally.
I know Bronny was hoping that it went to 7 games.
Boy was taking advantage.
Yeah, I know, right? He was waiting. He was sitting there waiting. He just, just next time, don't record yourself.
Yeah, and like I said, he's doing regular stuff that every teenager does. Like I hate that.
He just recorded it.
Yeah, and I hate that he's the son of a professional athlete. They give him like such flack for it. It's not that serious. Let the man. Granted, do smart decisions. Kids, stop recording yourselves.
Yeah, he's 16. He's 15, 16. Like, I mean, that stuff happens. Just don't record it, man. Don't be doing that stuff. Unless you were Snoop or something.
Why people telling on themselves anyway?
Yeah, don't tell on yourself. But yeah, LeBron, 4 championships, 4 finals MVPs. When we look at his basketball resume, it's going to be like, damn. That's how you going to say. You're just going to be like, damn. And the way he's doing it, because he came in when the league was transitioning from from the slow pace, and then now it's all spread out. Like, so he's seen the transition.
I just don't think they'll give him that nod over MJ just because whenever MJ got to the mountain, he made sure he put his flag there every time.
And it wasn't.
So
it's not that Jordan got there. It's the way he did it. When you watch The Last Dance, it's just the way he did it. It was just like, this dude got issues.
He's a winner.
Yeah. But, I mean, LeBron, he's got there. I mean, granted, there was some he could have won and some he couldn't. But, hey, at least he could say he got 4.
Oh, yeah,
4 of them things. That's all they remember. Nobody gonna remember the losses. Well, the haters going to remember the losses. But most people going to be like, he got 4 rings. That's about it. And the NBA season is on. I mean, I think they'll be back in January after MLK Day. They got the draft and all that coming up. I think LaMelo is going to be number 1 overall. So we'll see. We'll see,
man. They got some guys coming out.
There's a lot of there's some good guys.
Edwards is good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Edwards. Who's the other guy LaMelo played with in New Zealand? R.J. Hampton.
He played against him.
Against him.
R.J. Hampton. I mean, Cole Anthony's a solid point guard pick. It's all about what the teams need. Definitely. But from what I've been hearing, it's been LaMelo, Edwards, and Weissman.
Yep.
Been the 3 people I've been hearing about.
Right. Also, some other NBA news. We forgot to talk about this. The Sixers hired Doc Rivers. I mean, good luck with that. Okay.
I mean, as long as my thing is, like I said, we all know the professionals, the athletes put the ball in the hole. They create the wins and losses. But are they going to be receptive to your coaching?
Yeah.
That's really all it is. Are you still in touch with the league or are you out of touch? Because it seems like you're slowly becoming out of touch. I could be wrong, though. But
yeah, we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's get into some NFL news. So, no game for this past weekend. It's postponed. It got rescheduled to this upcoming weekend because players testing positive for coronavirus. Stephon Gilmore is tested positive. I think a practice squad guy tested positive.
Now they care.
Tested positive too. So, yeah. So this is just, Lord have mercy. I mean, at some point the NFL might be taking a pause at some point in the season because we're seeing more positive tests and they just, yeah.
For one, they already screwed us out of a win. Talking about a practice player catching COVID. What happened to Cam Newton catching COVID? Y'all didn't postpone anything for that. No, we ain't had no QB. Yeah. Like, what type of clown stuff is that? Every other team that suck, they're able to postpone their games because their QBs are important. Skill players got COVID. What makes New England any different?
Yeah. The NFL's handling of this is just not been great. I mean, they had months and months and months to put together a plan to avoid something like this. Because think about it, the NBA, you got sweaty men running up and down the court, being physical and stuff, and 0 positive tests. That's one thing we forgot to mention. 0 positive tests
get there.
At the NBA. We're talking about players, all the people that are behind the scenes with the productions and journalists and all the people that were in that bubble. 0 positive tests. And the NFL already were 4 or 5 weeks into the season, and they're getting positive tests left and right.
They don't value their players as much as the NBA does. Yeah. That's just, I don't know what else to say. I've been saying the same thing for a couple of years now, and it's kind of showing. Like, there's no reason why people in closer granted, I get it, people leaving and stuff, but people in closer proximities for 3 months and not one case. Why can't these NFL players or whatever keep their hands to themselves, be more aware? Like, just be more aware.
And why couldn't the NFL put together like a testing protocol like the NBA did? Because these guys, I know J.R. Smith put out the tweet, he got tested every single day. I mean, those guys got tested every single day. There's no reason why these folks shouldn't be getting tested every single day or every other day.
And I'll be honest, there's no reason why you're having cross-country games.
Yeah.
In all reality, just do what college football's doing. Just have division games, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. But you have to make it so the product is still quality product, and I want to see your players are safe.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for football.
Employees are safe.
Yes, it's not looking good for football at all. I mean, college football, they just had LSU and Florida just canceled or postponed their game this Saturday because I think one of the student newspapers at the University of Florida reported 19 players on the Florida team tested positive for the virus this past week. So football is just man that. Capitalism is gonna be the death of a lot of people because there's no reason we should be losing. Folks are putting their lives on the line. Let's just say that. All right. Justin Herbert had himself quite the game, but even though they lost, freaking kicker, but he had 4 touchdowns, and they had a 20-3 lead at one point in this game. I mean, I have questions about the Saints though, because they keep trotting in Taysom Hill and taking out Drew Brees at certain points of the game. And my thing is, at some point, y'all gonna have to start looking at Jameis Winston, because the way Drew Brees has been playing, it hasn't been good. And the way Sean Payton likes to run his offense, throw that ball down the field. Drew Brees cannot get the ball down the field.
I'll be honest, man. I'm sick of talking about the Saints, bro. I talk about them dudes every week. I don't even care.
Yeah,
I'm done with them. I'm done with them, bro.
But yeah. Well, on that note, Chargers kicker, you got to make that kick, man. You got to make that kick. Your rookie quarterback, it was 30. They had a nice late drive to win the game. You're inside in a dome. There's nobody there. There's no wind, and you missed it. And Mike Williams made one of the craziest catches of that game to set it up. So it was you got to help your teammate out. Come on, man. Actually, I would have let him walk home from there.
I was talking to my friend yesterday, and we were saying how extra points now are just not gimmies anymore. So when kickers be hitting 4 in a row, they be talking a little trash. I think it's funny now because they can talk a little bit, but you gotta hit it when it counts, bro. But I'm just sick of talking. I'm just sick of talking about Drew Brees. The man should have got his job yanked last year. They're giving him more time because, longevity and seniority and all that. Man, forget about that. Because with somebody else, they'd have been yanked a long time ago.
Get somebody holler at Jameis.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to pay you to holler at Jameis. Because Jameis, I mean, I said it, but I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Jameis is exactly what Sean Payton likes. Somebody who has no fear of throwing it to either his team or the other team. But he's going to throw it. He's going to give you a chance. He's going to give you a chance. All right, Russell Wilson, the Vikings. You watch this game? The Vikings and Seahawks?
No.
Oh my goodness. The Vikings, they had a perfect opportunity to seal this game. They were up 26-20. They were driving. They were in Seattle. They were in the goal line actually. I think they were at the 5-yard line. It was 4th and 1. I didn't mind the call. 4th and 1. They're trying to close the game out. Made the perfect play. If you watch that, if you saw the replay, there's a big alley right there. All the running back has to do is go right there. This dude goes right up the middle where all the traffic is, and then they get stopped, and Russell Wilson brings them down the field and game-winning touchdown.
For one, Russell Wilson's playing amazing football, and some running backs don't have the vision. What I mean by the vision, they can't think on the go. They can't improvise. They see the play where it's going. That's where they go. It's and I get it. Some people got annoyed by Barry Sanders because he didn't know the audibles and certain things. But we know when it was time to hit a hole or avoid something, he was making something happen. So
and the Vikings, they were running all over Seattle. I mean, Dalvin Cook got hurt. That's another reason why. Because if that was Dalvin Cook, that would have been a walking touchdown. Mm-hmm. But the Vikings, they gave themselves ample opportunity to win this game, but. And at the end of the game, Kirk Cousins, he gets sacked. Well, he doesn't get sacked. He throws the ball, but he gets hit while he's throwing it, and they deemed it a fumble. Instant replay, to all of us watching, shows it's an incomplete pass, but the ref said it's a fumble, and game's over. And I'm just just shaking my head that's an incomplete pass. They've called that an incomplete pass every single time, and they call it a fumble. Granted, I think they just wanted to get out of there because it was raining.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of the instant replay and challenging stuff and reviewing stuff if you're not going to change it if the whole entire world sees that it's an incomplete pass?
Yeah, I don't know. But the Seahawks are undefeated. They are 5-0. Russell Wilson, he's having himself quite a start to the season. He had another 3-touchdown day. DK Metcalf, he had another 2-touchdown day. Mm-hmm. So, oh yeah. No, last thing. The Patriots drafted N'Keal Harry instead of DK Metcalf, and N'Keal Harry's not looking like a good football player right now.
And Seahawks need to run the ball a little more. I get it. He mounts him down the field, but Russell shouldn't be a leading running back.
Well, yeah.
Leading rusher. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Whew.
You're right, but they're undefeated, so the NFC is looking really, really tough. All right, ooh, Dak, man, I didn't see the injury. I was watching the game. I had my head down. I had my head down, and I heard the announcer say, "Oh, Dak's down." Then I looked up. I caught the last glimpse of the replay.
I didn't even see the.
I was like,
I got to Hood's house right when it happened, so I just saw him getting carted off, tears and all that, but I didn't see his foot. But they told me he was looking at his heel.
Yeah, that he had surgery. He's gonna be out for a little while. They got Andy Dalton in, but this is just like quite the blow for him because he wanted to get a new contract. He's been playing out of his mind. Granted, they've been down all these games, so they've had to throw the ball for him to come back, and then they were down again in this game. So it's been quite the roller coaster for the Cowboys this year so far through 5 weeks.
Jerry Jones playing people's money.
Yeah.
Now his franchise looking kind of crazy, and you got the Red Rocket that just starting quarterback. I mean, they won. But I don't know how well Andy Dalton's gonna do. Maybe this is a team for him because him and the Bengals just never figured it out.
The good thing for Andy Dalton is he's been a starter before, so he knows like what to do, and they might have a little more focus of getting Ezekiel Elliott the ball. But the Cowboys, they need to do something about their defense, and they need to shore up their offensive line because they've just been too many mistakes. And also, Daniel Jones, this dude has turned the ball over in every game he's played as a professional.
I'm not surprised. He was Duke. He was like, I'm sorry, like, where'd Khalil Mack go to Duke?
Nah, Buffalo.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh. Does anybody come out of Duke for football?
Nah.
So I don't know what else to tell you. Like he was a top pick from Duke. Like,
I don't know the Giants they got some questions at their quarterback because he's got an issue with these turnovers and some of them cost him. But we look at this game and then once again the Cowboys, you're falling behind big. You're letting what they have. Darius Slayton had 129 receiving yards. What is that? You only get 2 sacks. You paid all that money to your to certain guys on defense, and your defense has been horrid. NFC East is a hot mess.
And somebody need to get Jerry Jones out of there, man. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad for Dak. For somebody playing with your money and you're playing well, and all of a sudden that happens, he's not going to get paid now. Especially dealing with that guy as your own.
And this is why a lot of people always tell the players, get your money while you can, because these owners, they want to be stingy, and then when something like this happens, then who knows? Yeah, so the Cowboys, they're 2-3 right now. That's leading their division. Yeah, I told you. I think 5 games is gonna win this division because that division is horrible. All right, I mean, a team we've been talking about. They need to clean house for a while. The Atlanta Falcons, and they've started to clean house. They fired the GM and the head coach. Finally, after their loss to the Panthers, and now it's just where do they go from here? They've named Raheem Morris as the interim head coach, but yeah, where do they go from here?
I was expecting to hear one more name in that firing.
Oh, is that Matt Ryan?
I don't like talking bad about BC guys, but y'all all should have been let go.
Well, they're gonna play. They're gonna let him play out the season, and then for sure, after this season's over, they're gonna be looking at other options for quarterback. But yeah, it's just so I don't even know because they have everything possible for you to be a good football team, especially on the offensive side, and they're just not a good football team. Like, you got the receivers, you got the running back, your quarterback. At sometimes he plays like the MVP quarterback he was, but then it's just like, yo, what are y'all doing out there? I mean, Julio Jones got to be thinking to himself, like, what am I still doing here? He probably likes living in Atlanta, but still.
I mean, I guess. I mean, Matt Ryan puts up numbers, but no touchdowns.
None.
How do you do that?
None. No touchdowns. And it's just like when you see them, you're just like, oh yeah, something bad. They're bound to mess up somehow, no matter what. It don't matter who they're playing. You just know that like something bad. They're gonna do something dumb.
Cursed.
Yeah. That's that Super Bowl curse.
It's the curse, man.
That's that Super Bowl curse. But yeah, they need to start looking at some stuff. They definitely need to start looking at some stuff because now you're gonna have a new head coach coming in, a new GM coming in, and you know what's the first thing a new head coach and a new GM do? They say they want their own quarterback. So we'll see what happens with the Falcons. But good God Almighty. Speaking of brain farts, you always talk about Brady having a brain fart at least once a year.
Told you.
I swear again. Every day right after. I didn't see the fourth quarter of the game. I had to leave.
I seen it.
Because when I left, they were up 19-7. So I come back home. I saw they lost 20-19, and then I see what happened. I'm like, bruh, come on. Come on, man.
At least it didn't happen in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It usually happens in the Super Bowl for him.
Yeah. I get it. Like, things happen in a game where you just, like, sometimes, your mind is all over the place, but not when you're trying to go and get the lead.
For one, if you don't know what down it is, there should be somebody telling you from the box what down it is. You just had a huddle with, like, 10 other players. They can tell you what down it is.
Or the coordinator in your ear.
That's what I was saying from the box. You know what I mean? Tell you. Or before you say hi, what down is it? Like, you gotta figure. You should have known. You gotta be aware.
You just, when you just look at that big old scoreboard that has everything you need to know on there. But man, this was a wow. And you know what the crazy thing is? They're still tied for their division for first place.
They're gonna be all right.
They're 3-2. Now the Bears, Nick Foles got them the victory, but their quarterback situation is just like a hot mess because Foles looked good at some points in this game, and then some points I thought that was Mitchell Trubisky out there. Because I'm just like, yo.
I mean, Nick Foles is always gonna be a backup, so you got to remind yourself that like he's a professional backup, but he's a winner as a backup, so he's gonna have those Fitzpatrick moments. But like, I thought Brady was gonna come out here gunning for Foles just because payback, and I'm one of those people. If you beat me in the championship game, I see you again. Oh no, I got to get this done.
You know what the problem is with the Bears in this game? They kept getting to the red zone and they couldn't get into the end zone. They kept kicking field goals. That's when I said, oh yeah, you're gonna lose this game because I think they got in there like there was like 3 times they got there and they kicked field goals each time. So I'm just like, you keep kicking field goals, you're not gonna win this game. You got to score touchdowns, and then you're giving these guys a chance. All you need.
You see the Brady meme?
Which one?
With J.R. Smith.
Oh yeah.
I felt bad.
I mean.
Because I like J.R. Smith, but they did him dirty with that meme, but that was funny though. I couldn't help it.
The only thing he gotta do now is go redeem himself, because man, you can't keep doing that. Like, what? Come on, man. Like, your old age is catching up to you.
I'm just glad people are finally seeing it. Because I'm always saying it. I feel like people don't understand what I'm saying. Now you finally see what I'm saying.
I don't know, maybe that TB12 stuff has some.
Maybe.
Let's go to Craig to the No Huddle. He gonna come back.
What up, Craig?
What up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig here with your DraftKings picks of the week. Make sure you're checking out Tale of the Tape on Gym Bag Entertainment on our YouTube channel. That's Gym Bag, one word, ENT. Here's your DraftKings picks of the week. We're going to start it off in the quarterback position with my boy Ryan Fitzmagic going up against the New York Jets that, one, ain't stopping nothing and have zero offense. So, they're going to pick them apart all day long. Ryan Fitz, he loves to air it out. He's got plenty of wide receivers. He got tight ends. He got running backs. It's going to be all good all day for Miami going up against this bum of a Jets team. They even got rid of Le'Veon Bell, so they ain't trying to win nothing this season. Next on the list, you got Jonathan Taylor. I really like this kid. He's been showing us a lot this season, coming in as one of the strongest rookie running backs, if not the strongest rookie running back of the season. And he has a favorable matchup. They're going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this matchup a lot. It's going to be all offense on both sides of the ball, and I think Jonathan Taylor is going to get his work. Next on the list, going up against Minnesota, I got Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley had a monster week last week, and usually I don't like to double down on somebody going crazy, but with the matchup against Minnesota, the defense is terrible, and they're letting up a lot of runs. I feel like Todd Gurley is going to be extremely successful this week, so I put him in my lineup. Next guy in the lineup I have returning to work is A.J. Brown for the Tennessee Titans. They're going up against is it Houston? Jacksonville. So I see a good matchup here, and I really like everything that I see coming out of him this past week. And once again, I don't usually like to double down, but A.J. Brown is the man. He's the next Julio Jones Megatron hybrid. Next on the list, I have Preston Williams. I told you Miami is going to put work all over these Jets, and Preston Williams has been showing us a lot of good stuff. Second-year wide receiver, and I think anybody from Miami is going to be super successful this week. It's going to be just a smackdown. Next on the list, one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL is Allen Robinson. Got a favorable matchup going up against Carolina, depleted defense, bunch of young kids, and Nick Foles has been killing it. He's been doing really well. Just beat Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Had a monster comeback in his first, not even start, his first game against probably Atlanta, because they're letting everybody come back and win. So I think this is a good matchup for him, and he is looking to be. And Allen Robinson looks to be Nick Foles' number one target. Next on the list, I got T.J. Hawkinson for Detroit. And this is a good matchup. And actually, you know what? Tennessee's playing Houston. That's why I like that matchup. Hawkinson, I believe there. I think Detroit is playing Jacksonville. So that is a very favorable matchup. And Hawkinson coming off a bye week and has been looking fairly good this whole season. Not great, but good. And I think this is the week that Hawkinson gets into the end zone big time and puts the points up on the board. Once again, I'm going to pick on Carolina in the flex position, and I'm going to go with David Montgomery. David Montgomery was a running back that I wasn't really actually high on this season. I thought that, what happened towards the end of the season was a little bit more of a fluke. I didn't think he was really going to get his touches, and boy, was I wrong. This kid has been doing a lot of good work. Kind of up and down, but going up against Carolina, they just lost their defensive tackle for the season. So I think they're really going to take advantage of that defensive line, and I think they're going to be up early and try to maintain that lead. So look at David Montgomery to get a lot of touches, especially in garbage time. And then finally for the defense, there is no other. The Dolphins. You saw what the Dolphins did last week. Just was absolutely and completely dominant. And now they're going up against the Jets with Joe Flacco starting. No Le'Veon Bell. It's going to be just an absolute domination on both sides of the ball. So I love Miami Dolphins in this matchup. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jonathan Taylor, Todd Gurley, A.J. Brown, Preston Williams, Allen Robinson, T.J. Hawkinson, David Montgomery, and the Dolphins defense. That's the picks for the week. I hope you win some big money. And until next week, I'll see you on No Huddle. Back to After the Whistle.
Thank you, Craig, for that. And then, all right, Mia's back with the sports update. Let's go Mia Lynn with the sports update. New England sports update with Mia.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's segment of Sports Updates. I'm Mia Lynn, and today I'll be covering the latest in the sports world over the last week. To start off, the BC Eagles won in an overtime thriller against the Pittsburgh Panthers this past Saturday at Alumni Stadium. Playing well for the Eagles was wide receiver Zay Flowers and quarterback Phil Dracovic. Flowers caught 6 passes for 3 touchdowns and 162 yards, and one of those touchdowns included a 77-yard touchdown reception in the third quarter. Dracovic helped lead the team to victory with 4 touchdowns. The Panthers now hold an overall record of 3-2 and an ACC record of 2-2, while the Eagles stand with a record of 3-1 overall and 2-1 in the ACC. That places them in a tie with Miami, Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech for 5th place in the ACC. BC holds their only loss coming from the Tar Heels of North Carolina a couple weeks ago. The Eagles now have another ACC matchup ahead of them as they prepare to take on the Hokies of Virginia Tech this Saturday on the road. While they'll be marching into Lane Stadium with a win behind them, the Hokies will be looking to bounce back after a loss to the UNC Tar Heels last week. This should be a key ACC matchup as both teams stand with a 2-1 record in the ACC. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Moving on to baseball, MLB playoffs are in full swing. In the American League Championship Series, the Rays are leading the Astros and will face off tonight at 8:40 p.m. for Game 4 of this best-of-7 series. On the National League side, the Braves and Dodgers are in a tight battle and will play Game 3 tonight at 6:05 p.m. Lastly, in Patriots news, the team currently sits second in the AFC behind the Buffalo Bills. They hold a record of 2-2 after falling to the Kansas City Chiefs last Monday in a final score of 10-26. The Patriots game against the Denver Broncos that was originally scheduled to be played this past week was postponed due to positive COVID-19 test results. As of yesterday, the team reported no new positive tests after a round of testing. According to Coach Bill Belichick, they are, quote, on track to play. Ever since starting defensive tackle Byron Cowart tested positive on Sunday, the team has had no new positive cases. They placed Cowart on the COVID-19 list as of Monday. As far as practicing goes, the team has had 3 days off in a row and hopes to start practicing as soon as possible to start preparing to host the Broncos. That matchup is now scheduled to be played this Sunday. As for the status of Newton and Gilmore, Belichick says that he's unsure and is leaving that to the medical department. However, they are supposedly on track to return for the game this Sunday. Make sure to catch the team in action this weekend. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week for another segment of Sports Updates.
Right, and thank you, Mia, for that. And we are back. All right, couple more NFL stuff. Raiders, they came out there. They stunned the Chiefs. The Raiders defense was playing tough. Derek Carr looking good out there. Lakers all around game. I said Raiders.
Yeah, that's all good.
Raiders, they were down. They had a little losing streak happen, but they came back. They got this victory. It's a confident boosting victory.
Yeah, I should have went with my heart on this one because with my brain, I think I picked the Chiefs. Oh man, kudos to the Raiders, man. But the Chiefs got an issue with what's going on. Like their formula is not a winning formula right now. Like they're winning games, but they're like winning some games by the skin of their teeth. They're not blowing teams out. They're not having that third quarter explosion that they usually do. Yeah. They're not running the ball enough. They were talking about how good this what's it Edwards-Helaire is.
Yeah.
They only gave him the ball 10 times. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. Andy Reid likes to throw the ball a lot, but sometimes he likes to throw screens too. So that also plays a role. But yeah, the Chiefs, they got a big matchup coming up with the Buffalo Bills. They got the Buffalo Bills coming up, so 2-4-1 teams going on right there. But yeah, it was like the Chiefs, they had the momentum, then the Raiders took it back, then you thought the Chiefs were going to get the momentum again, and then the Raiders usually the Raiders will lose this type of game.
I was going to say, one thing I know about the Raiders, they're learning how to battle through games. Yeah. They're chipping away, just like their first game of the season when they scored like 4 touchdowns in a row.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect that out of them. Because I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
But honestly, what's his name has him going. Gruden has him going in the right direction.
Yeah,
definitely.
He definitely does. He's coaching them up well. So kudos to the Raiders, man. They're doing their thing. Your Browns out there.
Oh.
Fourth straight victory. I forgot who in the world did they? Oh, they played the Colts.
Hey, they ain't looking like skid marks right now, though.
No, they're not. But Phillip Rivers is looking like skid marks. All them interceptions. I'm just like, the Colts, y'all really gave up on Jacoby Brissett for this guy?
I thought when he looked at Chargers, he's gonna retire.
Me too.
And then you go to the Colts, he should have been a backup.
He definitely should have, because Jacoby Brissett did more than enough to actually be a starter.
But you know how it is. That seniority, you've been in the league for over 15, almost 20 years, I think. What are you gonna do?
But Rivers ain't like he done anything. He just passed for a lot of yards out there in San Diego. Like the big games, he always for some reason choked and.
Hey, when you're a good pro, they look out for you.
Nah, I'm not the biggest Rivers fan.
I'm not at all.
Yeah, and also the Browns. We've talked about their offensive attack. They've been running the ball a lot more. They've ever since that Week 1 loss, they've been running that ball, and they had 33 carries as a team. Kareem Hunt with the majority of it with 20, and they're finally getting the ball to Odell Beckham some more too, just like last week. He had 9 targets this game. Jarvis Landry, he had 9 targets too. So Baker, granted he reverted back to the old Baker a couple times, but he was able to overcome it because usually he doesn't.
And he's been distributing the ball to multiple receivers.
Yeah.
It seemed like every receiver had at least 4 catches.
Yeah,
at least 4 catches.
Yeah, they had 3 guys with over 4 catches or more, and then they had a couple guys with 3.
All right, so he's definitely understanding how to be a quality quarterback now. Granted, he needs his skill guys to do big things every game for them to win, but hey, that's just part of being part of the Browns.
Yep.
You gotta start somewhere.
And they got a big matchup with the undefeated Steelers this week, and so we'll actually see how good they really are because the Steelers, right now the Steelers playing really good, and their defense has been off the chain. So
I'm just surprised the Browns are 4-1.
You and me both. You and me both. But hey, get them wins. So it could only be so long until you're. Only so long until people can stop laughing at you, but, you got to get those wins. All right. +1 interview. Talk to our guy, Jake Fay, about The Process, his movie that he directed. So, +1 with Jake, and we're going to come back and wrap this thing up. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the +1 interview. And today we have a special guest. We got director Mr. Jake Fay here, Hooper turned director. Like we like to call it. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. It's not raining, so I'm good. I'm good, man. You got the film out. You got the film out that you worked on last summer. The Process is out, man. And it was a process getting this film done. You guys did it in what, 10 days or something like that?
Yeah, we shot 11 days this past October. We shot 85 pages of script in 11 days. So we moved super fast. But luckily we had the crew to do it.
Just tell me about that, because putting a movie together is long hours, long days, and for you all to be able to do it in 11 days, just talk to me about that. Just getting it done in such a short span of time that you had to do it.
Yeah, luckily, I got home in the summertime, and luckily all of our actors were local. All of our actresses were local, so we were able to do a ton of table reads, and that really helped us out as far as once we got on set. I had built a relationship with everyone already. We've already gone through stuff. I've already directed them and kind of told them what I'm looking for. We got to play with their character a lot. We got them to, give themselves into that character. So when we got on set, it was really us lighting it, us getting that frame, and then the actors are ready to go, which is such a help. So we got to shoot things much faster because of the preparation work we put in. And then we had a crew that were very good at running guns. So we shot things, we moved quick. We did a lot of stuff handheld, which allowed us to move quicker. We changed up for what our situation was, and it worked really well.
Yeah, and you was doing before before directing this movie, directing this movie, you were doing those small videos out, like little short series videos out, and what got you the idea to just try to put together the movie?
I wrote the feature back when I was in film school, and I've always, wanted to just go out and make movies, especially,
All right, now tell me who you got in this movie. I know you said you got some local actors in here. Tell me about a little about the characters in this movie and the role each character has.
Yeah, so we have Jason Gervasio, who's a Lynn, Mass native. He grew up in the East Lynn, so he's a Lynn English kid. He's been acting in the Boston scene, so I grabbed him. He came and sat for a table read for the lead role, and he fit it really well. So we have Jason, who's a Lynn actor, Boston-based actor. Then we have Adam Lon, who goes by stage name Mike L. He's a local Lynn rapper. Who I grew up with. He came in and basically played a character similar to himself. He caught on to that once he read the script. He was like, is this just me? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of just you, We have Marvin St. Jean, who's out of Dorchester. He's a New England-based actor, a younger kid who's kind of making his way up. And I made him act in a stutter. So I kind of put him on the spot. He did a great job. He really worked on that stutter. He watched how other people, the bigger role characters in Hollywood, how they kind of have acted with stutters before, so he really embraced that, which was really cool to see. We have Samantha Valletta, who's a very big named actress in the New England film scene. So she came in, she was great. It was a big cast. We had almost 30-something speaking roles.
Okay.
So it was a lot to cast it, but I think we did a really good job. There's a lot of names. Everyone came in and just crushed it, which was awesome to see. They all were available for table reads early and often. We did a big table read last September where we had the entire cast there. So that was a really cool experience.
And now that the movie is out in streaming, you're also looking to. I know you've gotten invited to some film festivals already, or is that correct?
Yes. So we got into the Urban Film Festival in Miami, Florida. Unfortunately, everything's online because of coronavirus, which I understand. But it would be nice to get to these festivals. But yeah, so we were nominated for Best Feature Film in the Urban Film Festival. So that was a really cool experience. We're in the Urban Media Makers Film Festival down in Atlanta. We're in the Orlando Film Festival in Florida, and then we just won Best Feature Film in the Massachusetts Independent Film Festival. So that's been exciting stuff.
All right, so a lot of things happening with the film. What are some of the feedback that you've gotten from the folks that have watched it already?
So yeah, this weekend we put it out on streaming for the weekend premiere sort of thing, and I got so much really, really good feedback. So it was exciting to hear that. It's always nerve-wracking when you put out a film. You kind of have to just let go of it. You're putting your soul out into the world for people to see. And luckily people really liked and enjoyed the product. A lot of local people that I grew up with, older or younger, whatever, really got the story. They understood it. They knew people like that in the film, and they they were writing back. Some people write back synopsises to me, reviews and all that. It was awesome. So the feedback was really good. It kind of blew up on social media every day that it was streaming. People were talking about it. Some people purchased the movie twice, some 3 times. So they watched it a lot. They loved all the music. They thought it was done well. So it was cool to let the community finally see the film. I've been talking about it for like a year on Instagram. People seeing us shooting the movie and all this, and now they finally got to kind of see what we did, and it was cool that they enjoyed it.
And also for the past several years, not even several years, for quite some time now, we've seen a lot of Hollywood films come to Lynn to shoot movies. I mean, they had The Equalizer 2 with Denzel. They had that Black something. The story about the mobster. They shot.
Yeah, Black. Yeah.
They shot that here, and then the Adam Sandler movie. Just how for you as a Lynn native, how gratifying was that for you to be able to just shoot in the city you grew up in?
Yeah, it was very gratifying. I think a lot of people come here to shoot either because Lynn hasn't changed since the 70s and 80s, so it looks the same. So they'll shoot a period piece here, or they'll shoot here because of tax purposes. So it was nice to say this isn't just you use our backdrop. There's stories here as well. So it was cool to put that impact on it. Like, hey, you might come here because you get tax breaks, but there's stories that are being told on that. So that was cool to be able to tell that story of local artists in Lynn, and be able to show that you can tell a very hyper specific story to a city, a small city like this, and it can resonate with a bunch of people. So that was a really fulfilling experience.
All right, so it's up on the streaming service. Tell the people where they can go if they want to watch that.
So we did the weekend premiere on eventive.org. I might put it back on for a little bit. I'm working on a distribution deal out in LA right now. I can't say much about it. So very soon it should be on all major streaming platforms within the next, hopefully, within a month. We're working on trying to get on BET and Amazon and YouTube TV and services. So I might put it back up on Eventive for another weekend or something like that, maybe soon. But right now I pulled it off because I have to work on a distribution deal, and I can't have things up while that's going on.
Gotcha.
But we might do another special event, if depending on how long the contracts and stuff will take with this distribution deal.
All right, awesome. And now you're currently you got that done, doing all the stuff you need to do with that, and now you're currently in the process. You and Antonio Anderson kind of came together, and you do a little feature doc on him and his career path. Just tell me a little about that.
Yeah, so right now we are in the middle of crowdfunding for the feature film. The process, the feature I just shot was self-funded. And that was a great experience, and I would do it again in a heartbeat in that situation. But I can't go out and self-fund another film. So the biggest thing now is we're trying to crowdfund this film. We have perks and all that. You go on Indiegogo.com. You can go. You can. We have an Antonio Anderson game-worn jersey up there. We have his Upper Deck cards. We have signed pictures from Antonio. We have different stuff with his camps and his skills academies. So we really want to get the community behind to back this, because it's expensive to make a movie, and all the money that we're fundraising on Indiegogo will go straight into making that movie. One of the biggest things about the Antonio Anderson documentary we'll be working on soon is that he's played with so many people and he's been all over the world, that we want to make sure we can shoot the documentary and go to these places where he was. You know, we're going to interview John Calipari. We don't want to interview John Calipari in some white background. We want to go to the University of Kentucky and interview him in his office or in the arena. Mm-hmm. You know, all of it's that he played with in Atlanta, and some are in Mexico now, things like that. We want to go to location to shoot the film. I think that way the interviewer and the interviewee will be more in a relaxed situation, and they can answer better. So that's a big chunk of the money will be going to travel. But yeah, we want to tell Antonio's story. It's an incredible story that will be super, specific to Lynn, and people in Lynn will love it. But it's a story that I think anyone in the world can learn from and enjoy listening to. Basketball wise or non-basketball wise, he's been through a lot, and he has a positive impact on the community. And it's a really good story, and I want to put it on screen and do it right.
All right, definitely. Yeah, and you just talked about the process being self-funded. That's really betting on yourself to do something like that. But that's not something that's unusual, because we've seen a lot of directors in Hollywood. That's when they put out their first project, it's usually self-funded by them. So that's just another step in the right direction, or just for you to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of 70-hour work weeks, doing odd jobs, but it was totally worth it. And those 11 days where I got to do what I want to do, hopefully for the rest of my life, and it was even more inspiration and motivation to keep doing this, because it feels right being on set. It feels right telling stories. I think I'm decently good at it, and I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing your thing. Now, if they want to get in contact with you, if they want to learn more, just let them know where they could go. Plug your social media, email it, website, and all that.
Yeah, you can reach out to me on Instagram. That's always a good one. It's just JakeFay_BTeam. You can email me at fayjake7@gmail. And then you can go to our Indiegogo page, which you just go to Indiegogo.com, type in Antonio Anderson. It'll pop right up. You'll see all the perks we can give you for donating. And, it's spreading like wildfire. We had almost 700 shares on Facebook with the Indiegogo page. And, it's a tough time. We're not trying to, break anyone's bank account, but if you can donate $5 to $20, it's a huge deal. We had 700 people share it on Facebook. If, 700 people gave $10, that's $7,000. We might be able to go to make this film. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a lot to make a film. It's a lot of, food and equipment and paying people and all that, but it'll work, and it'll be able to tell a really good story. So yeah, definitely Indiegogo.com, search Antonio Anderson and kind of look at our perks. If you can donate $1, we'll accept that dollar with grace, because we really appreciate people giving their hard-earned money for us to be able to tell a story that hopefully will help them through their day-to-day lives.
And the process might be out again this weekend. Not sure.
Yes. Just follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and you'll see we'll be putting stuff up here and there. And we never know, we might just drop it again on a weekend, but hopefully it'll be on all streaming platforms within by mid-November, and people will be able to watch it forever and buy Blu-rays and posters and all that.
All right, man. Hey, Jake, thank you for taking the time to chat with me, man. Continue the great work, and really appreciate this.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right, you guys been watching the Lynn Plus One interview. That's Jake Fay. We didn't even talk about his hooping days at University of Hartford. Well, that's one for another day.
Yeah.
All right, have a great day, everybody. And we are back. Thank you, Jake, for that. Yeah, the process. That's his movie. It took 11 days to make it. He said he's gonna might put it back on the stream. You might catch us in that. You might see us in a cameo in that if you watch. I haven't seen it yet, so hopefully we in there. But make sure you check make sure you check that out. All right, let's couple notes around the league. This guy, Le'Veon Bell, got released.
Yeah, I seen that.
I mean, this was the Jets getting rid of everybody except the coach. Like what? got rid of their best defensive player. They didn't want to play for the head coach. Le'Veon Bell, since he signed and they signed that coach, they never really vibed. So it's like, bruh.
Who's the head coach?
Adam Gase.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Oh man! Once again, I don't get what goes on in the NFL, man. It's all about the players. It's about your players.
Man, yeah.
I don't understand these people.
I don't either. It makes absolutely no sense.
No, it does make sense when you have owners thinking they're bigger than the game.
Yeah.
So So that's how football is. All right.
Yeah. You're right. All right. Yeah, that's all for around the league. We ain't gonna go too much because we might go over the time. All right, top 10 plays, and then we out of here. Right, and we are back, and that's a wrap for us. That's it for us, man. I'm tired. I'm just tired. I've been up since 5, so
I went up and went back to sleep.
So make sure you check him out. Make sure you check him out, Mr. Burton.23 Instagram, Mukala_K Instagram, LCTV After the Whistle Instagram. Oh yeah, also. Jake's doing a little crowdfunding. He's trying to do a documentary with Antonio Anderson. So make sure you check that out. I seen the little clips that he put on. That'll be pretty cool. So.
And lastly, happy birthday, Big T.
Oh yeah.
Woo woo.
The boogeyman.
Yeah, Bob's birthday today.
All right. We don't know who else's birthday it is, but guys, we're out of here. Peace.